So somebody asked me how they should find their fight weight, and this is a really good question and I want to talk about it because if it's not already out there, this is info that could probably be useful. Now you're going to want to figure this out with your coach, but what it's going to come down to is what your height and body type is. Now the move people in the West tend to make is to try and find the lightest weight that they can safely fight at and fight there, and there are benefits to that, but just remember, just because you can doesn't mean you should. The benefits to fighting at the lightest weight you can are going to be that you have a higher chance of a height and reach advantage and potentially even a weight advantage when you end up rehydrating and going into fight the next day. Now on the flip side to that, the benefits of fighting at a more natural weight are going to be that you have better speed, more power, and a much easier camp overall. Probably the biggest benefit to fighting closer to your walking weight would have to be that you have much less of a chance of getting knocked out and also receiving a serious brain injury. This is something we're really only just becoming aware of, but it's been noted that one of the potential causes for a glass jaw on competition night is that when you dehydrate yourself, you're taking water away from your brain, which means you have less of a shock absorber. The way it was explained to me is that your body works similar to how a sponge works when it comes to hydration. Your body functions in a similar way, which means no matter how much water or Gatorade or Pedialyte or whatever you ended up drinking, no matter how good you feel the day of, it doesn't necessarily mean that your body has really absorbed all of that fluid. Now with all that aside, what it's really going to come down to is what you're able to safely and efficiently get away with being able to do. Now I'm a pretty well built 6 foot tall dude, and I could feasibly get down to 155 pounds if I really wanted to suffer through a camp. Of course, I am still an amateur right now who really doesn't even fight that often to begin with, so why would I want to suffer like that? The last thing I'll say is that cutting weight is very unhealthy. It damages your body. And not only that, but the more you do it and the more extreme the weight cut, the harder it actually becomes to do in the future. I actually know of a few guys who made it to the UFC, and they were very talented guys, but they ended up getting cut from the roster because eventually, after years and years of cutting weight ever since they were an amateur, they just could not do it anymore. These guys not only missed weight, but they ended up losing the fights that they missed weight for, and when that happens, the UFC tends to cut you without a second thought. But that's all I have for you today, and I want to say thank you to the person who asked this question, because if this info is not already out there, it's actually really good that this info is going to be out there. If anybody has any questions for me, feel free to hit me up on Instagram at ScottSullivanMMA. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like and also subscribe for more. If you have anything to say, feel free to comment down below. And until next time, good luck out there.